Billy hides secret deal. Sally warns don't trust Aristotle. The Young and the Restless recap for Tuesday, March 25th, reveals that Billy Abbott will conceal a secret deal, while Sally Spectra warns him not to trust Aristotle Dumas. At home, Sally will question why Aristotle's been trying to get in contact with Billy, who'll keep joking around and deflecting. That'll just make Sally more skeptical. So Billy will claim Aristotle's assistant reached out to him, before Aristotle eventually called himself. Billy will appear like Aristotle might be interested in investing in Abbott Communications, and will point out that Aristotle was on his side after Victor Newman swooped in for the Chancellor takeover. Sally still won't get why Aristotle would be reaching out to Billy again this late, and she'll make a prediction about Aristotle not being trustworthy. Billy will keep playing dumb, but he'll secretly get Aristotle on the phone later to affirm the quid pro quo they discussed is moving forward. Meanwhile, Victor will sound the alarm to Lily Winters and imply that Aristotle sent Damian Kane to insinuate himself into the Winters family because of their company. Victor will also claim that Dumas provided info on Lily and Devon Winters to Damian 3 months ago. Afterward on Tuesday's YNR episode, Lily will give Devon updates on what she's learned and make it plain that they were right to distrust Damian. There'll also be some talk about Amy Lewis' first treatment going well as Devon delivers the news that she's bound back to Genoa City with Damian and Nate Hastings. At Crimson Lights, Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers will struggle to know how to proceed now that the captivity drama is over. Phyllis will speak about needing to breathe, so Sharon will take her to the park and give her a chance to. When it comes to the title of worst enemy, Phyllis will imply that it's always going to belong to Christine Williams. Sharon won't be so sure about that, but she'll ultimately propose it's a shame to feud with Phyllis when they have so many loved ones in common. Phyllis will be willing to leave their hostility on the clinic floor, but there'll still be questions about how precisely they'll achieve that. However, the fact that Sharon went through the same ordeal will make Phyllis feel less alone. Once Sharon and Phyllis head to Society for drinks, Sharon will joke that they could attempt couples therapy. Phyllis and Sharon will eventually share a toast, as they get on the same page about taking baby measures toward peace. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Sharon and Phyllis could encounter some setbacks down the road, so stay tuned. Jordan's return inevitable? 3 clues she's not gone for good. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates suggest there are 3 reasons why Jordan could still be alive. Let's delve into where and how Jordan could pop up again somewhere down the line. 9 lives like a cat. To begin with, Jordan is known for her uncanny ability to survive, which means she might still have a few lives left. Even though she consumed tea laced with drugs and reportedly confronted a deadly overdose, it's quite plausible that her exit could be reversed. It's possible that Jordan still had a faint pulse, managing to recuperate without the Newmans being the wiser. Rumors suggest she was transported to the morgue, but what if she had assistance in fabricating her own death? If that's the case, Jordan could very well be devising her next act of revenge behind the scenes. Ian Ward secretly survived. With the revelation that Jordan's partner in crime has secretly survived, it's essential to consider this twist. Both Ian and Jordan may still be alive. Ian Ward was indeed alive in that ambulance, obviously indicating that the show is leaving the door ajar for his eventual return. While the Newmans believe Ian has been cremated, there's a strong possibility he could stage a surprising comeback in the future. If Ian managed to elude his supposed demise, then it's entirely plausible that Jordan could have done the same and might be preparing to re-enter the scene. The EMTs and the morgue personnel could easily have been members of Ian's cult and still faithful to him. Jordan the not-so-friendly ghost. There's undoubtedly another option for Jordan's return if YNR chooses not to bring her back in person as a ghost, or even as hallucinations experienced by Claire Newman. Claire might find herself plagued by Jordan, whether in her dreams or through unsettling visions. If Claire's darker side resurfaces in a new storyline, it could be the ideal moment for Jordan to make an appearance, even if it's just in a nightmare or as an apparition. Jordan could challenge Claire about her past, suggesting they are more alike than she believes. Regardless, Jordan was an entertaining character, and it would be disappointing not to see her again. There's still a chance the show might bring her back, If there are any updates about Jordan's return, we'll share the latest information. Will Claire's Jordan past come back to haunt her? Sharon's been through enough, and we don't want to see her with another big helping of guilt on her plate, particularly for trying to help someone. But that appears to be exactly where Young and Restless is heading with the current storyline. After the ordeal in the abandoned mental clinic, Sharon is slowly regaining some traction in life, but it isn't going to be simple. As the blonde barista and corporate CEO confesses to Phyllis in upcoming scenes, she's still suffering from nightmares and wrestling with the emotions left behind in the wake of their kidnapping. One thing that haunts them both is that they have no idea who took them captive to experiment on them like lab animals. As viewers well know, it's not likely they'd ever predict the identity of the culprit. They believe it's someone who knows them and their history very well, given that the riddles in the game during captivity concentrated on the details of their past beefs. Instead, it's someone who only had limited knowledge of Sharon and didn't know Phyllis at all. The other person in the dark about Alan is his fiancée Traci, but she's already detecting something is terribly off-kilter with her dream man. It all started when his phone began lighting up with notifications about a clinic breach. The author saw the messages when he was in the shower, and though he was able to brush it under the carpet, her nephew Kyle later provoked suspicions by mentioning that Sharon and Phyllis had been held captive in an abandoned clinic. It was simple to disregard as a coincidence, until Traci got a message from Alan saying he'd grabbed the last ticket on the last flight out to Paris that night. Considering they had intended to go together on the Abbott jet, it was downright bizarre. Although she didn't say a word, we received the impression that the combination of the messages, Kyle's anecdote, and Alan's urgency to get out of the United States left Traci questioning everything. That brings us to the next logical, not to mention devastating twist. Young and Restless teasers indicate that Sharon will assist Traci connect the dots about Alan, which means the ladies are destined to come to the realization that he is the madman and freak who held her and Phyllis captive, terrorized, and very nearly killed them. Unfortunately, this startling realization will leave Traci in extreme danger, mortal peril even, should she decide to confront Alan. We can see it now. She'll be determined to bring him to justice, and will consent to be used as bait to lure him into an arrest. Which is all fine and excellent if all goes according to plan. Unfortunately, as we know all too well, and as Phyllis spelled out, this is a villain who places the likes of Aunt Jordan and Ian Ward to shame. He's cunning, he's cruel, and he's capable of absolutely anything. If we're fortunate, he'll be apprehended, and we'll finally find out the truth about Alan/Martin. But if he manages to outwit the authorities, Traci's very life could be on the line. Billy hides secret deal. Sally warns don't trust Aristotle. Introduction. Trust is a fragile commodity, readily shattered by deception and hidden agendas. In the world of business, politics, and personal relationships, secrets can unravel alliances and destroy reputations. The phrase Billy hides secret deal, Sally warns don't trust Aristotle, encapsulates a narrative of treachery, caution, and the consequences of concealed motives. This story examines themes of loyalty, manipulation, and the dangers of blind trust. Who is Billy, and why is he concealing a secret deal? What role does Sally perform in exposing the truth? And most significantly, why should Aristotle not be trusted? This 3,000-word analysis will delve into the dynamics between these characters, investigating the implications of secrecy and the warnings that follow. Part 1. Billy's Secret Deal, a Web of Deception. The nature of the secret deal. Billy, an ostensibly trustworthy figure, has entered into a clandestine agreement with an undisclosed party. The details of this agreement are unknown to those closest to him, including Sally, who may have once considered him an ally. The secrecy suggests that the arrangement is either unethical, self-serving, or detrimental to others. Possible motives for Billy's concealment include financial gain. He may have accepted a bribe or struck an arrangement that benefits him at the expense of others. Power consolidation. The agreement could involve political maneuvering, where Billy aligns with a powerful figure to secure influence. Fear or coercion. Billy might be hiding the transaction because he is being blackmailed or threatened. Whatever the reason, his decision to keep it concealed indicates a lack of transparency, eroding trust among his peers. The consequences of hidden agendas. History has shown that secret agreements often lead to disastrous outcomes. Whether in corporate scandals, political betrayals, or personal relationships, concealed agreements foster suspicion. When Billy's secret is inevitably exposed, the consequences could include loss of credibility. Once trusted, Billy may find himself isolated as colleagues and acquaintances distance themselves. Legal repercussions. If the transaction involves illegal activities, Billy could face investigations or prosecution. Broken relationships. Sally's warning suggests that Billy's actions have already damaged crucial alliances. Secrets have a way of surfacing, and when they do, the damage is often irreversible. Part 2. Sally's warning, the voice of reason. Who is Sally? Sally functions as the moral compass in this narrative. She may be a colleague, friend, or whistleblower who has uncovered Billy's deception. Her warning, "Don't trust Aristotle," implies that Aristotle is a central figure in Billy's secret transactions. Sally's function is crucial because she possesses insider knowledge. She may have witnessed the deal firsthand or uncovered evidence. She values integrity. Unlike Billy, she prioritizes honesty and warns others before they fall victim to the scheme. She risks retaliation. Speaking out against powerful figures places her in danger, yet she chooses to do so anyway. The significance of her warning. Sally's cautionary statement, "Don't trust Aristotle," suggests that Aristotle is a master manipulator. He may be a corrupt leader, using his influence to exploit others for personal gain. A deceptive strategist, skilled at presenting himself as trustworthy while orchestrating schemes behind the scenes. A puppet master, pulling Billy's threads, making him an unwitting accomplice in a larger conspiracy. Her warning is not just about Billy's betrayal, but also about the larger peril Aristotle poses. Those who ignore her advice may endure dire consequences. Part 3. Aristotle, the master manipulator. Who is Aristotle? The name Aristotle invokes the ancient Greek philosopher, known for wisdom and logic. However, in this context it is likely symbolic, representing someone who appears intelligent and authoritative, but uses their intellect for manipulation. Aristotle's characteristics may include charismatic leadership. He commands respect, making it simple for people to follow him without question. Hidden malevolence. Behind his polished exterior lies a propensity to deceive and control. Strategic alliances. He recruits individuals like Billy to further his agenda, while keeping his own hands pure. Why shouldn't Aristotle be trusted? Sally's unambiguous warning indicates that Aristotle has a history of betrayal. Possible reasons for distrust include exploiting loyalty. He may have used Billy as pawns, discarding them when they are no longer useful. False promises. Aristotle could lure people in with lofty assurances, only to leave them compromised. Divide and conquer tactics. By fostering secrecy, he weakens group cohesion, making it simpler to control individuals. Those who trust Aristotle blindly may find themselves entangled in a web of deceit with no simple escape. Part 4. The broader implications, lessons on trust and betrayal. The psychology of deception. Why do individuals like Billy hide deals? And why do figures like Aristotle succeed in manipulation? Key psychological factors include dread of consequences. Billy may dread backlash if his deal is exposed. Desire for power. Aristotle thrives on control, exploiting others' vulnerabilities. Cognitive dissonance. Followers of manipulative leaders often disregard red flags to avoid discomfort. How to protect against betrayal. Sally's warning functions as a crucial lesson to avoid falling victim to similar schemes. Verify information. Don't take agreements or alliances at face value. Seek evidence. Question authority. Even respected figures can be deceitful. Listen to whistleblowers. Those like Sally often provide the first signs of peril. Real-world parallels. This narrative mirrors real-life scandals. Corporate fraud. Executives concealing unethical deals. Political betrayals. Leaders creating secret pacts that harm their constituents. Personal relationships. friends or partners concealing harmful realities. In each case, the pattern is the same. Secrecy leads to devastation.